The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Greater Media Productions or Virginia State University. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. Some topics presented may be highly sensitive to some of our audience. Your discretion is advised.
Coming up on Orange Table Talk.
I tend to put my stress on other people. And that's something that I had to stop doing. I had to take a step back and actually look that I'm reflecting. I'm putting my emotions on someone else when they have absolutely nothing to do with it.
I can really lean on them. We can lean on each other to like, hey man, I know this is going on. We can go talk to this lady for this. She gonna help us out.
Sit back and relax. Orange Table Talk starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Orange Table Talk. I am Malik Johnson, the founder and president of Greater Media Productions.
And I am Zamaya Brown, the vice president of Greater Media Productions.
Today at the table, we will be discussing all things mental health, wellness as college students, and as Generation Z.
Yes, and today's guests are none other than Miss DeAsia Nichols and Mr. DeAndre Davis.
Welcome, you all.
Hi.
Yeah, so
how are you guys feeling today?
I'm excited.
That's good. You excited to be at the table?
I am.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, I'll go first. I am DeAsia Nichols. I am a senior business management major from Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm a fall initiate of the Alpha Eta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I am also a member of Vanity LLC.
Okay, what's going on, y'all? My name is DeAndre Davis, a senior psychology major from Dallas, Texas, by way of Chesapeake, Virginia. I am a fall 20 initiate of the Prep Incorporated, the latest social org on campus. Shout out to Prep. And I'm also a spring 21 initiate of the nasty new side chapter of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Very well.
Thank you for that. Love all the adjectives with that.
I had to do it.
It's an honor having you both at the table today. And for starters, like Malik mentioned, we will be discussing mental health. And since mental health it also includes emotional and physical health, what would you guys say mental health means to you as college students?
Ladies first.
Mental health means to me just taking the time to really care for yourself and taking that extra mile to make sure that you're okay before anything else, making sure that you know you're good, that your mental is okay, and just things like that. Yeah,
definitely. Mental health is very important to me, being that I have a lot of family members and people around me who deal and struggle with mental health issues. You know, to me, it's more of just make like DeAsia just said, making sure that you're okay before anything else. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to give away all your bricks and let somebody else build a house and leave you with nothing. So,
right. So the conversation is mental health. And first, before we get into the nitty and gritty stuff, let's tell people why you're here at the table, why that is your all's topic for today. Tell them what you do on social media. Yeah.
So I have an Instagram blog called A Cup of D, where I basically just talk about myself. It's basically a way for me to express myself because I do have a hard time talking out loud. I have an insecurity with my speech. So just typing it out and saying it online and just, expressing that verbally online, it made me feel comfortable. And I didn't realize that a lot of people looked at it and read it and actually were influenced by it. So that was just something that was, great for me to do.
Right.
So something that I do is, I started this program at the Boys and Girls Club in Petersburg, which is pretty much just helping, a lot of young, Black kids coming from the similar background as I did, not having, all the money growing up or not having both parents in the household, so a program that I did, I started it with the Bros, and it's basically just a big brother program, just, or having, that father figure in their life, you know what I'm saying? So, I go to the Boys and Girls Club, go outside with them, spend time with them, things like that. That's something that I'm big on. I'm a big advocate for mental health in the Black community. So that's something that I do outside of, school and everything.
I love that. Okay, so
sorry. As college students, we all wear a plethora of hats. Some of us are presidents, some of us are on different committees, but originally we were just maybe brothers, sons, daughters. And when we step into college, we're coming into a different environment that could be overstimulating and overwhelming. So what would you say an advice you would give to sticking true to your true identity as DeAndre and as DeAsia?
Yeah.
Okay, I can go first. So something that I do that keeps me sane, so to speak, you know, cause I'm from Texas. So all of my family is in Texas. So it's not like I can just wake up one day and drive 30 minutes home or an hour home or anything like that. I got to catch a flight or drive 19 hours or however long, you know, it is. So one thing that I do is just, you know, I do a lot of things that I used to do in my childhood. You know, I like to fish and things like that. Some things that keep me sane and let me know, or not let me know, that remind me of where I come from and or what my roots are. You know, I'm from the city, but I'm a country boy at heart. You know what I'm saying? I love to fish. I love to, you know, things like things, hunt and things like that. That's stuff that I love to do. And that's stuff that I still do to this day. And I constantly talk to my family, constantly talk to them back home, call them consistently every single day just to check on them or just, you know, to even, you know, just have a conversation or just to bother them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. Things like that just to keep me sane.
Right.
For me, I would really have to say praying. My religion is something that I'm really strong on. And I just have to like step back from reality, step back from school, step back from going to the parties and just really find myself with God and really just pray. And I do journaling. I try to exercise hard, but I try to do it. And just like I said, like I use my blog as a way to express myself. I just really need to, for me personally, I have to step away from my friends and step away from college and because it gets very overwhelming and it gets to a point where you kind of lose yourself. So for me, I have to just take a step back, pray, get to know DeAsia before I get to know Dre or before I get to know Malik. You know what I mean? So that's just what I do.
Right. And I definitely agree with you. Definitely religion is a big thing for me. Like I can honestly not do anything without praying and without, like literally the way my schedule is packed. I don't know how I do the things I do. And literally praying is definitely how I deal with the mental health and deal with when it gets hard and stuff. Is literally just pray and literally breathe. Like that's the most, even if it's like for 5 seconds. Like
it helps.
It helps. It does, because sometimes you literally can't step back.
Right.
And you just have to go. And so that's for you. What about you?
For me, I have a lot of different things that I do, but I'm big on self-care. So whenever I'm feeling really stressed out or really anxious, I'll maybe sit down, play some music, play some makeup or whatever, or I take a long hot shower and just really think about what's going on, like actually sit logically and relish in like what's going on and think like, okay, this is just in the moment. It's not forever, Zamaya. Like your life is still going to move on. You know, you're still going to prosper. You're still going to go and be the great woman you're supposed to be. So yeah, it's basically a reality check. Putting myself back on planet Earth, because a lot of these problems could seem really big, really, really big. It's
so
hard.
Small.
Like you are such, you have to remember you're such a small part of such a big universe. So when you think about that, it kind of makes me feel better. So.
I agree. So let me ask the question: how do you all feel growing up as Generation Z has impacted our views on mental health, especially with social media and the negative stigmas against seeking help?
Okay, I'll go. So really, you know, being Generation Z and being a Black man in America, you know, growing up, I was never taught to show my emotions in any way, shape, or form. You know, if anything was wrong, I used to take it to my grandmother or my grandfather, and they'd be like, you know, suck it up, just you know, just man up. That was the key words of my household was just man up and just let it rock, you know, and that's affected me to this day because it's like now it's very hard for me to express my emotions and show my emotions and show people that I do actually genuinely care about certain things, but it's very hard for me to do that because I was never shown that type of love or taught how to do it. So that causes a lot of, you know, struggles with me daily, you know, because I deeply care about something. But to y'all three, it might be, oh, Dre, I'm not about to ask Dre to do this. I'm not about to ask him for help on this because he's just not going to care. I genuinely do care. It's just very hard for me to show my emotions and to express myself in that type of way.
I definitely agree. I feel like growing up in a Black household, you're kind of taught that going to therapy and doing things of that nature is a waste of money and a waste of time, and you just shouldn't be putting your effort into someone else's pocket. When in reality, like that is things that are actually needed within our community. I feel like it has gotten a lot better. I will say in this generation, a lot of people is taking therapy more seriously than we have before. So I just think, you know, it's really just about taking that time and that effort to actually want to better yourself and not just confide into what you were raised with doing, what your parents taught you.
Mm-hmm.
It's more awareness.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think coming from Gen Z, like you said, we're all taught not to be vulnerable, but it's okay at the end of the day. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let your emotions out. That doesn't make you weak. It just makes you human, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
So to follow up on you're a psychology major, correct? Okay, so I want to ask this question from what you said about being taught that it wasn't really, I guess, acceptable to go to therapy. But now that you basically were taught that, and that we're basically all of us being in that Black society, in that Black community, it's viewed as but from the other point of view, now that you're a psychology major, what is it like, that experience? What does it feel like now that you're the one providing that help?
It's a shell shock, because becoming a psych major, being a psych major, you know, you learn a whole lot about how people think and how they work, but also with that, you learn a whole lot about yourself internally. So then that caused me to want to go and seek help and at least just talk to somebody about my situation or about my issues, you know. And that was the biggest thing for me, it was just so different seeing it from the other side of things, seeing it from the other side as to this is why this person is acting like this is why they're acting like this. So now I sat back and thought to myself, like, why do you act like this? Why do you respond to certain situations in this way when it could be so simple, so easy? You know what I'm saying? So that's really one of the biggest things that I learned being a psych major was, you know, you have to have you can't help people with their problems if you can't help yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
that's what caused me to go and seek help and want to talk to people about certain things. So.
Okay. Well, I do want to ask, a lot of people in our generation believe there's like a roadmap to mental illness. Like first you start off, okay, I'm a little stressed out. This is getting a bit much. And then it's, oh, okay, I'm definitely overstimulated. And then that leads to anxiety. That anxiety leads to depression. That depression leads to fatal suicide. How would you guys feel like your time as a college student has fit on that roadmap? Has it progressed? Has it gotten worse? Like, has it impacted how you run your organizations? Like, how would you describe that?
Well, me personally, I feel as though it hasn't affected how I run my organizations. I feel like it's affected my daily thinking personally, you know, because business is business at the end of the day. That's mandatory. That's what I was taught growing up. That's what I do now. Business is business, but it can affect my way of thinking about certain things or certain issues. But then I have to snap out, okay, this is business. I got to do it like this. You know, I can't rely on my emotions or how I feel about a certain thing. This is how I have to react. You know what I'm saying? This is the situation. Now this is the problem solver right here. So that's the biggest.
I agree with Dre. I feel like it has more affected me personally more than it has my organization. For me, it's more like, for my personal self, I'm very hard on myself. So it's like, if things don't go a certain way, I'm over here putting myself down, and I'm over here, you know, like really just doubting myself and my abilities. So I feel like that has affected me. For my organization wise, I tend to put my stress on other people. And that's something that I had to stop doing. I had to take a step back and actually look that I'm reflecting, I'm putting my emotions on someone else when they had absolutely nothing to do with it. So that's just something I had to look back on myself and realize that I'm only human, and yes, I know I have emotions, but that's not your fault, or it's not his fault, or it's not her fault. So yeah.
I would definitely have to agree on that. I would definitely have to agree on that as president, because it's like we're with them so many hours of the day.
I feel like I feel like you kind of lose your identity,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because it's more like,
especially with the title,
especially that it's just more like, if an event or something is not going how you envisioned it, it's like that you looking at everybody around you that you told to do something, you like, yo, like, and you just, you hear me, you get on them, and you get on them to the point where it's like,
it wasn't that deep.
It wasn't that deep at all.
And then from another point of view, it's just like, then you start to blame yourself because you're the one at the top. Like, you can't do it.
Everyone's going to look at like, yeah, you posted this or you did this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
For me, I am a part of a lot of organizations. And with that, it's like you said, a lot of people look at me, look up to me as like, okay, she's supposed to have all the answers. Yeah. She's supposed to tell us what to do when stuff goes sideways. Yeah. and when it comes to balancing that, like mentally, it does get difficult. And I feel like the beginning, very draining. Yeah, the beginning of this semester was very difficult because I freshly got introduced to such a high position, being vice president of a whole organization. Like I had never been vice president before. And to be here now, we have a whole e-board that I have to basically look after and to tell them what to do, where to go. And if something's not right, it falls on me. Yeah. And I have to provide you with an answer of why it happened.
Yeah. And then it'd be like, it's not even just the e-board though. You got a whole e-board you're looking after and then the members.
50 members.
So now it's just like, you're just sitting there like, I just don't have the answer right now. Let me think. Let me sit and process what's going on.
And it does get overwhelming, definitely. But I think I've learned to understand each aspect of all of my organizations. I'm a part of maybe 4 or 5. And yes,
that's not where I was.
Only two.
Yeah.
But because I'm the type of person that doesn't say no. Right. So if they're like, oh, Zamaya, you would be great for this e-board. You should do social media for that. It's okay, great. Yeah. I guess. So it does get hard sometimes when I'm balancing them all. And I have to make sure that each and every one, all their tasks are done. All their accomplishments are gone through, like they've met with their advisors, all that. Yeah. So, and on top of schoolwork and college life and all that. So it does get overwhelming, but I do have to remember that we're all human. You can ask for help. Your e-board members, your members, like they're there to help you. Your friends are there to help you. So that's what I had to remember. Ground myself, humble myself very quickly.
And I think it's really... I don't want to say it's easy. It's really not easy.
Nothing about it is easy.
It's not a walk in the park.
No, because I think just being me, I don't like asking people for help.
Absolutely.
Like, I will literally run myself in the ground before I say
especially that you're a president too, so you can understand when you have all your members and e-board just looking at you, waiting for the answer, and you just don't have it. Yeah. So then it's like, who do you go to?
Yeah.
At that point in time, you know what I'm saying?
The previous president.
There is no previous president.
The previous president might just be like, I have nothing to do with it anymore.
Yeah. And then the thing is, me being so personable, it's just that everyone comes to me. Mm-hmm. And so, and I think everybody can deal with that. Y'all, y'all felt that on a certain level. I felt that. Like, because it's hard when he's like, you know what? No, like literally this is out of your hands. Mm-hmm. Let somebody else deal with it. That is hard turning it over to somebody because then it looks like I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now they can't come to me for nothing. No. I just said they can't come to me at all. But like, but no, I can see how, like I said, this stuff like that we just spoke on, that stuff gets draining after a while. And that can affect your mental health. And so with that being said, how do you both feel about the positive and negative coping skills our generation is using to manage stress?
For me, I feel like it's 50-50. Like you have some people who are having positive ways such as exercising and journaling and praying and things like that. And then you have people who go to drugs and going to parties and just going the route that is not as well. So I feel like it's really 50-50. Right now, we live in a generation where it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Like, I feel like a lot of us are lost, especially in college right now. We're all just lost, kind of just going with the flow of things and not really knowing what our set goals is and what our path is. So like I said, I feel like it's 50-50. Like we all are just taking it day by day.
And I agree. I feel like you said, like we're lost. And I feel like a lot of people in this generation are lost because the way I cope with certain things, you might think are wrong. You know what I'm saying? And the way you cope with things, I might think, oh, that's great. And I try it, but it's wrong for me.
Right.
So it's kind of just like, I can't lean on DeAsia, be like, yo, DeAsia, how do you cope with dealing with this, and this? And then you tell me how to cope or how you cope personally. and then I go and do it and it's not working. And just now I'm aggravated because she told me it's gonna work. It's not working. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just more stress.
Now you wasted your time and now you did this and that.
Definitely.
That's why that disclaimer results may vary. Around a lot there.
Always.
But with your point of view,
so I guess I'll say from personal experience, freshman year, honestly, I didn't want to be here. Not like on earth, but like at VSU. Yeah. But I did not want to be here. I didn't really see college as a good fit for me. And I wasn't really sticking to my studies as I should. You know, I was going to parties, I was drinking alcohol, things I shouldn't be doing. And then once I realized, okay, like you're here for a reason. Yes. You have a scholarship, you got to keep it. You know, people are counting on you, and there's a lot of pressure that family puts on you when you're in college, because it's like I'm a first generation. Right. Oh, yeah. So
too big.
It's a lot. It's like, okay, like you gonna bring us out the mud, like what's going on? Like, so yeah, it's a lot of pressure. And once I finally understood that I had to live for myself and not necessarily for my family or my friends or anybody else, that's when it started getting better for me. That's when I started going to positive coping skills like praying, meditating, exercising, that kind of thing.
Okay, so from my point of view, you really just have to find what works for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Just find what works for you. I would definitely say this generation, very different. Not like I was born in a different generation, but no, this generation is different because I cannot imagine some of the stuff that these people go through and how they deal with that. And I can't answer the questions on why they turn to the stuff they turn to deal with what they go through. And especially makes it difficult when people in high elected official positions make the decision to allow certain things. Then we give them the green pass. So yeah, it's okay, but it's really not, because it affects you in the long run.
Right.
And so, but for me, literally just that's why I just pray, because I just it works for me. It works for me. Like,
and that's good. That's
right. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the things that you were saying that you didn't know why it happened in our generation. I feel like it's because you see it on social media, you see it on TV, and it's accepted. Like you see people doing crack on TV, and it's like, oh, they're having the best time of their life. Right. I'm gonna do it and get that same feeling, not knowing that it's really bad for you.
It's like it's like kind of praised,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
It's
like
definitely praised, and it's kind of strange, actually. Not even gonna hold you, but it's very weird how a lot of the things that were not accepted are being accepted now.
Yeah,
especially with the younger. We are the part of the same generation, but like the younger, like high school, middle school, people are going into sex, self-harm, depression, like all of that.
At the age of like 5.
Exactly. It's getting really scary out here.
It is. Scary. And so you all mentioned all three of you all are first generation. Okay, so from that point of view, speak on, because I know for sure y'all had to come in with no answers to questions that you had.
Oh yeah.
So speak on, how did you deal with that your freshman year, your sophomore year, and then some of you getting ready to graduate, but yet you still don't have the answer to the question. How do y'all feel about that?
Good.
So even before freshman year, it kind of started when I first realized in high school that I wanted to go to college. I wanted to at least try. You know, because my plan coming out of high school was I was going to go to the military or to the shipyard. You know what I'm saying? I was just going to get a check and just be chilling. But, you know, after conversations with certain people, I just realized that I at least wanted to give college a chance. I at least wanted to try. So, you know, it was more so like I had to sign myself up for the SAT by myself, ACT by myself, you know, applying to colleges by myself, you know, things like filling out my financial aid by myself. So it was kind of just like, I couldn't even really be upset, because it was like my father didn't know what to do. So it was more like I leaned towards, you know, my high school guidance counselor at the time to help me out and like just kind of show me the way. He didn't give me all the answers. He was just like, he just led me in that right direction. And even when I got to college my freshman year, you know, I didn't realize how, you know, I'm sure everybody knows, you know, being a broke college freshman is very different. You know, you get tired of going to Jones and it's very different. It's a very, humbling experience.
Right.
Because you don't realize how pampered you are, you know, regardless where you come from. You don't realize how pampered you really are until you get to college by yourself. And you're dealing with everything by yourself, because once you get to college, it's just all of that free time you have. It's just like you just don't know what to do with yourself. And then that free time can cause you to, you know, just, I can't even think of the word right now. Just all of that free time could just end up very bad for you.
Right.
And put you and set you back,
Yeah.
and set you back. And it just, you know, it's very hard. Even now, even like you said, like us being seniors about to graduate, it's like, I still don't have the answers. You know what I'm saying? If somebody asked me now, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I'm still figuring out still to this day myself. So it's just more like, once I graduate, it's going to be more of a, if somebody came and asked me, how can I deal with this? I'm going to have a better response for a better answer for them.
I feel like for me, when I was in high school, I was in an advanced program called AVID. So they helped us with every college step that we had. So it was like, I knew how to do applications, do financial aid, because I had a teacher right there behind me the whole time. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to go to college. It's going to be paid off. Everything's free, whatever. Because they don't teach you, like, when you get to the financial part, it's like, okay.
You just fill it out, sign your name.
Right.
That's all you know.
When it came to going to financial aid, I'm over here stressed because I'm thinking, you know, I was a straight A student in high school. Everything is going to be paid off.
Right.
Absolutely not. I didn't know what to do when I got there. My mom didn't know what to do. It was just, I was stuck, you know? So I was stuck just taking out loans, not knowing what it meant, not knowing what interest was. So I just feel like, being a first generation student, going to freshman year, it was hard. Like, I was stressed every single semester trying to figure out how to pay for the late fees that I missed because I missed those.
I swear.
Like, it was just something after the other.
Right.
But once I got into the hang of it and actually being knowledgeable of it and actually just talking to people, because connections really do work. Like, networking really does go a long way. Once I started talking to people, I realized it's not that bad. You know, like, of course, there's going to be times where you're struggling. You don't know what to do. Like, you don't know what's going to be paid off. But like I said, freshman year was the only loan I took out, because after that, I educated myself on things, and I just, you know, took the time to really do it, because my mom didn't know how to do it. My dad didn't know how to do it. My grandma, it was just me. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, for me as first gen, my mom started the process to go into college back after she graduated high school, but she never finished it. So she knew about the financial aid, a little bit about that stuff, but she didn't know about college, like college life. And I feel I can take a test to the financial aid, because I feel like college students to have a lawyer present with them when they sign these papers. You're giving your life away. Thousands and thousands of dollars at the age of what, like 17, 18?
Yeah, 17,
like
18.
That's crazy. So yeah, when I got here, it was kind of like being pushed into the deep end. And it was really, really frustrating and really overwhelming at first, because I felt really alone. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I was supposed to be going. Like, I got to grocery shop on my own now. Like, Mom, how much is toilet paper? Like, it was just a lot. But, like you said, I've grown, I've matured, I've learned so much, especially being a part of leadership, like how to govern myself. It's just, life carried me on, I guess I should say.
So I got a quick question. What do y'all think helped y'all with that? Like, being that we're all older in college now, what has helped you? What's one thing that's helped you tremendously with that now?
Definitely being a part of the organizations that I'm in. It gave me a sense of responsibility. Like, I can't be slipping up on my grades because I'm gonna get kicked out of this organization, and these people are counting on me, you know, and I can't make promises that I can't keep or anything like that.
For me, knowing that literally, how can I put this?
I think I know about you.
It's like you really can't do anything else.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have any other options. Either you come and handle your business, or
there's to cry about it.
Right.
Like,
Sure. Yeah, because literally after this, you're really on your own. And so if you don't do it now, figure it out now. I know it hurts. You know, everybody wants to call their mother and be like, "Mother, I need you." And their parents and whatnot, but they're just like, your parents are not always going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be some moments where your parents won't answer that phone. So what are you going to do in that situation? How are you going to respond to that question? How are you going to deal with that decision that you made, the situation that you're in? And so that is basically how I got through, is like, well, I need to be the adult that I am being, that I'm growing up to be. And so I guess start now. Go ahead.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like that's the route I went to. Because, like I said, I'm very hard on myself. So it was just like, I have to do it. Like, I have no other choice. Like, I feel like with me, like, my faith is good, is very big. So it's like, I feel like God is always going to lead me in the direction he wants me to go. Whether I'm stressed or not, whether I'm crying today, there's always tomorrow, you know? Yeah. So just like I said, you had to grow up. You had to talk to people. You had to step out of your comfort zone to really get the answer that you needed.
Right. Good for you.
Yeah, what you do?
No, for me, like exactly like what he just said, like it takes me back to my childhood, like man up. Like you know, I've been claiming to be an adult for so long now, it's really time to be an adult. Like, you're gonna figure this out. You're gonna figure it out. But then also I was just blessed to have, you know, to come into state with a group of people that came from the same background as me, that are my brothers, you know what I'm saying? So I can really lean on them, and we can lean on each other to like, hey man, I know this is going on. We can go talk to this lady for this. She gonna help us out, you know. Right. And like you said earlier, the connections, like Miss Pam at Jones, the one, I swear, for real. She's a build a plate. Oh, every day, every day, every day.
When I got here, I knew nothing. Like y'all said, we knew nothing about college, and so if it really wasn't for my brother who was going into college, he a year ahead of me. And so he kind of gave me the ins and outs. And that's Ronnie Johnson that we spoke on earlier. Yeah. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. But no, yes, if it wasn't for him, I don't know the answers, because it's like my mother's not here. But you know, thank God Ronnie. Here. I go there. But other than that, shout out to him.
He was the guinea pig of college.
Yeah, he was. Because I was going to be like, I think I can do that without going. Yeah, I'll be all right.
I'm on my own. I don't need no piece of paper.
No, the fact that we pay a lot for a
piece of paper.
Handshake. Go with it.
That's beside the point. But no, I say, great conversation, because literally this all reels back in. It's just really just take care of yourself, honestly. It's not easy out here. It's really not easy out here. So to close us out, some may feel like a burden when asking others for help. We spoke on that earlier, but what advice or kind words would you give to someone who may be struggling in silence?
See, someone actually asked me a question a couple of days ago about advice as a plus size woman. And basically she was nervous about pursuing something as a plus size woman. And clearly I'm not plus size, so it kind of threw me off that was the question that she came to me about.
Right.
And the advice that I gave her was to basically be the best woman that you could be for yourself. Like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't let your fear hinder you from going after your goals and going after the thing that you want to do, because that's you stopping you. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, you're living your life for yourself, not for anybody else. So you have to really love yourself enough to go after your goals and go after your dreams, and not be afraid to fall, and not be afraid to be rejected, because rejection happens to everyone.
Right.
And nobody is judging you based off your appearance or your looks. We're all getting judged right now.
Right.
So who cares? You know, as long as you're secure within yourself, who cares what he has to say or she has to say?
So like one of the biggest things that I would say to somebody who's suffering in silence is like, you're not suffering alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's other people out here that are, you know, that are going through the same thing as you, or could possibly be going through the same thing as you, or going through their own thing.
Right.
So the best advice I could really give, you know, is just really, you know, find somebody to talk to about it, you know, because there's people out here who care. You know, I care for sure.
I care too.
She cares, you know what I'm saying? We all care. So it's more like just being able to find that outlet for yourself to talk about certain things, or to do the things that you want to do. Like you said, don't let fear hinder you from doing anything that you want to do in life, because it's like, you can do anything that you want to do. I'm a firm believer that you can do anything you want to do in life as long as you put your mind to it. don't care what anybody says, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're small, plus size, or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? Because as long as you have confidence in yourself and confidence within yourself, and you know that you feel me, that you heard me. So it's like, can't nobody stop you, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can stop anybody from doing anything that they really put their mind to and know, like, oh, I'm going to do this. I don't care what you got to say about me or how I look or how you think like about me. It's just more like, yo, just finding that outlet to talk, finding that outlet to go and just get it off your chest. You know what I'm saying? Just really just let it all out, because at the end of the day, once you do that, you're going to feel 1,000 times better. I promise you.
Indeed.
And you're truly never alone. There's always someone that's going through the same thing, or even worse, that is more than willing to come to you or just to vent to you, and you don't even realize that y'all are going through the same thing. A lot of people have a fear of telling people their business because they don't want everyone to know what's going on. But sometimes you need that release. You need that, like, just that person to talk to, whether you know them or not. Like, there's been multiple times where random people just came up to me and asked to talk, you know? So you just have to be comfortable enough to just be vulnerable.
You know, even if you're not going through something, you know, if you see somebody just by themselves, you know, what's up, man? How you doing? How's your day? You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Like, yo, I like your fit. Yo, the shoes fire, the fit fire. I like your hair, all that. So, little things like that can go a long way for somebody, you know, so.
I definitely agree. And I would just like to say, no one is truly alone. If you are feeling like you're struggling in silence, you can call or text the Suicidal Prevention Hotline at 988. Again, call or text. Talk to someone 24 hours of the day, and you can go to Memorial Hall for the counseling service for the entire university.
I love that.
I
mean, come on. I can't respond to the question. All right. But no, I was to respond to the question, literally to someone who's suffering something, like everybody said. You may feel alone, but you're not lonely. But definitely go to someone. Literally, I know many times for me, even though I could be down, I still can't, the people around me can't, not that they can't know I'm down, but it's like, it will affect them as well. And so literally, I know I may be down, but I'm still going to be uplifting to other people and try my best. We're going to get through this together. Okay?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're going to get through this together. And so, but I'm always going to be nice and uplifted and have high spirits.
Yeah.
But like you all said, there may be times where we're dealing with something that other people don't know about.
Right.
And so I would definitely just say, it's okay to talk. It's okay to say, you know what, I can't do this right now.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
agree.
It just brings me back to when last year I had lost my grandfather, and Dre and all the All-Stars, they were like my biggest support system at the time. Like, I'm getting emotional. They were my biggest support system, even though they never like mentioned it. Everyone knew, you know.
Right.
So it was like they were just always there for me, making sure I was okay. It was times where I didn't want to go to practice with them, or I didn't want to even step with them anymore, and I just felt motivated because they were literally the reason why I was okay. You know, like, wow,
it's okay.
All right. Yeah.
And I don't even think they realized how much I appreciated that at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
people really don't know that they could really be the key to unlock that door of happiness again. They could be the key. That's why I just say, always be nice to people. Always.
Never take kindness for granted.
No.
It's so easy to be harsh and mean to people than it is to just show a bit of kindness towards someone that, like you said, maybe having a rough time.
And it doesn't matter if they don't look like you or if they don't act like you. Still be nice, because I think with this generation, it's like if you don't click with that person, then oh no, they're not good, and they're less than you. No, never. That is never the case. So
I would say for like myself personally, I feel more gratification by somebody coming up to me like, yo, you really made my day that day. Like them little words that you said to me, they were small, but they meant so much to me. And there's been times where people have came up to me and said that, and it's just like, I might be going through something at that time, and them coming back up to me like, yo, just them little kind words, just, you know, they saved me or they helped me, and it's just be like, yo, like,
Yeah.
You know, I can't even explain it. It's just a very different feeling. It's just very different.
That's actually how I felt when you talked about my blog. Like, I didn't know you read my blog or
Yeah.
looked at it. I was like, oh, wow. Like,
You never know who you may touch.
Yeah.
You never know.
I just thought it was honestly inspiring that another Black woman on my campus, literally probably a few buildings down from me, is going through some of the things that I'm going through.
Right.
You know, like we have the same hobbies or interests, but we also have the same issues and mental problems. So it was like a stress relief off my shoulders that I really am not alone. You know?
Wow. Yeah. I won't get. I can end, but I ain't gonna go. I ain't gonna keep going. But this has really been, honestly, a great but yet helpful conversation. This is the conversation that I want to say everyone should have, not just the people at this table. Have that conversation, even if it's not with other people, but have that conversation with you. Reflect on what are you going through and what will help you overcome it.
Are you happy with you?
Yeah.
It's a question we all should ask ourselves.
I agree. And so with that, I want to thank everyone for being at the table, okay, and sharing your all's experience and your input on this topic. This is really a topic an issue that we will face for I don't know how long. I mean, for forever.
Right.
This has been going on, but now it's becoming more worldwide. It's becoming more public. Let me say, becoming more public. So, because now we have wellness days at the university.
Yeah.
That was not a thing.
Multiple at that.
Right, multiple. And so I definitely want to, again, thank you all for sharing your all's point of view on that. Really touching. It was very, very moving, I would say. Very moving. And so, yeah, I'm Malik Johnson.
And I'm Zamaya Brown. Again, it was an honor having you both here with us at the Orange Table.
Thank you.
Where can everybody find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at d.shanae.
You can find me on Instagram by DRAK0DRE. Big Draco.
Draco?
Big Draco.
I know. Hello. Don't y'all forget that it's going to be up on the screen. But y'all, don't forget to follow the organization at Greater Media Productions on Instagram, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are liking these episodes, tell us.
Please tell us.
Yes.
We love the feedback.
Yes. So definitely. All right. So, that will do it for me. But thank you all for, again, tuning in, and we'll see you next week at the table.
Come on and talk to me, baby. See, I wanna know. You better tell me your name, baby. I said, talk to me for a minute. Come on, let's talk for a minute.